Good morning, gentlemen of MvFF Swansea. Welcome to your weekly roundup via video link. The last night was week 3 of our Christmas Cracker Cup competition. You can currently see on screen there some of the recipients of the bonus goals and the basic stats. Just before we get started, I want to shout out a massive thank you to Coach Howell and the player facilitator team of Shahi Ahmed, Chizzy and Carl Lewis. All of them stepped up big time last night, and the session ran seamlessly as if it did not skip a beat. They showed that they are the perfect gentlemen to be taking over the new era of the league come January. I'm super proud of all of them. I thank them all so much for being ready and able. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there last night due to both my kids coming down with scarlet fever. It was a tough decision. Obviously, family comes first, but it was gutting to miss a session with you boys. I was gutted not to be there on Tuesday night. Felt very strange to be at home. And it looks like a absolute stunning session was missed with over 40 kilos shifted by you guys. Apologies for any noise in the background. Daddy's home from work to look after the pair of them. CBeebies is on and there's lots of screaming and shouting going on. So apologies if you pick up anything in the background. Anyway, best attendance, Pink and Greens both rocked up with all 11 of their guys showing up. Greens had 10 of their 11 guys tracking. They also had the biggest team loss of 10.7. It's fantastic to see the Greens revitalised. They had a season of ups and downs last time out. Often struggled with attendance. Often struggled with a few lads having their heads down. It looks like they've completely bounced back now. Morale's high, spirits high, attendance is high, losses and tracking is high. The Greens are currently smashing everything right now. They've gelled, they've bonded. It's lush to see them galvanised now. Bit of a story behind the Pinks and the Greens there as they dominate with Aled Mason, currently our season 4 percentage leader, so close to his 5% after only just joining us. Greens have lost 18 kilos in this cup competition. So far in 3 weeks as a league, we've lost 68 kilos across the Christmas Cup. Greens have lost 18 of those kilos on their own. Pinks have lost 20.7 kilos. So you're talking almost 40 kilos of the 68 we've shifted between those two teams alone. Absolutely fantastic from them. Both teams had all 11 show up. Both teams had all 11 either lose or maintain. Greens had 9 losses and 2 maintains. You'll see on the next screen now the biggest loser for them and the biggest loser of the week so far. For the entire league was the magic man in goal, safe hands himself, Mr. Brett Johnston. But you also had Stephen, Reese, James, Aaron, Butty, Corey, still in his BMI and still losing, Griff and Scott all shifting weight. Hats off to them. For the Pinks, they actually had 10 losses and 1 maintain. And that maintain was actually a new guy coming down and getting his reg weight. So effectively, they had everybody losing. It was fantastic from them. Hassan shifted 1.7 kilos. Fantastic to see him get started with his weight loss journey. Been a real pleasure to have around the camp. I think a real surprise package for most on the pitch. Is now shifting the weight on the scales and things start to be clicking for him. Fantastic to see this team settling down and cracking on with the weight loss. Phil 1.4, Russ and Andrew Honey-Jones lost 1.3 and 1 kilos respectively, both injured, both unavailable to play, but still came down, still weighed in. Without them, the Pinks wouldn't have picked up the best attendance bonus goal. So it's fantastic, brilliant, well done for those two guys coming down. Alid, our percentage leader, losing another 0.9. Scott, the big man in goal, lost 0.7. You had Kev, you had Lee, you had Danny, you had John, all shifting weight. Absolutely superb from that team. Well done, guys. You can see there the discrepancy between the scales goals and pitch goals. That is the penultimate week of that happening. Next week will be the cup final week where the rule still applies, and then from January the 3rd, your brand new season, your first full season as a 10-team league, your first full season under new coaching and new stewardship with Mr. Howell Pugh. The rules will resort back to normal, and you will see the pitch goals creep up, but you will probably also see the scales goals fly up as well. We move on to the next screen, guys. You can see there the team losses down the left-hand side. Loads of people showed up. Fazio, very unlucky not to be the biggest losing team of the week, just beaten by half a kilo by the Bulks. You can see there, though, Pinks did fantastic. Reds losing well. Yellows, Blacks losing a lot as well. Helped by their second biggest loser of the week, Chris Shaw, losing 3.5 kilos. Brett, 3.7. You can see Light Blues, Fazio dominating the other 3 positions there. Spencer, welcome back, mate. And the double poles, the pole axis, poles squared, losing 4.2 kilos between them. Well done to them. You see at the top there, 41.9 kilos shifted, guys. And the most surprising thing about that is if you look to the right-hand side, not a single milestone was hit. 41.9 kilos gone. You're talking double that. You're talking about 90 pounds of weight lost just in 1 week, and not a single milestone hit. I've never seen that happen before. That's absolutely unreal to be able to lose that much weight, and not a single guy out of the 80 people that attended hit a milestone. I imagine there is a boatload of milestones coming next week now. I think we're going to be busy taking photos and writing certificates next week. It looks like a lot of guys have got them queued up. Yeah, superb. It's unreal. I had to go back and double check because I've never seen that happen. It's rare that clubs lose 35 to 40 kilos in a session anyway, but to do it and not hit a milestone, yeah, it's a bit of a freak occurrence, that, guys. But yeah, you can see there 68 kilos lost in 3 weeks. There's 2.2 pounds to a kilo. So if we call it 70 kilos and roughly double that, you're looking at about 150 pounds shifted in 3 weeks in this cup. 150 pounds that you guys have collectively lost and isn't there anymore. Fantastic. Well done to all of you. The results, close as always during the cup with the new pitch rules in force. Vinder Blues just sneaking past the Light Blues there by account of, unfortunately, the Light Blues having to borrow. So there's no way to take 2 goals off the pitch score as we normally would, as there's only 1 goal on the pitch score during the cup. So Vinder Blues were awarded 2 bonus goals, which doesn't really affect the overall score, but it does mean that they just snuck past Fazio. Great on the tracking, Fazio. Well done to your scales win. Pink Panthers versus the Bulks. Again, narrowly the team who won on the scales just lost, due to Bulks having 1 more tracker and the Bulks picking up 1 more bonus goal. That bonus goal was their tracking. Pinks and Greens both shared the bonus goal for their attendance, but the Bulks just snuck the other one based on how many they had tracking. So that game effectively came down to the amount of people that were tracking on the team. Fatastuta and the Flying Dutchman. Bit of a strange score, that. I've never seen a 0 versus -1 before. It happens sometimes. Just as the stars can align and it seems like every single loss, milestone and hat-trick comes along on a week, you can also have every single own goal and gain all happen on the same week as well. This is MvFF. These Christmas time. These things come along and they occur. The important thing is for the Dutchman is to just write it off, shake it off, draw a line under it, go again next week. Well done to the Fatastutas. As my daughter is currently chucking pens across the floor. I know, baby, I'll get you out now. Scranmore with a big week, helped by Chris Shaw, but a lot of losses on their side. Brilliant on the pitch, great on the scales. Everybody tracking on their team, getting the maximum tracking score. Only 4 teams out of the 10 did it this week, Scranmore being one of them. Fantastic to them. And then the final fixture, yes, there you go, my angelic daughter providing the backing track. Marco Banfasted sealing their place in the cup final with a win over Thinnet to win it. Big performance on the scales from them. Both teams phenomenal on the tracking. Yeah, so that clinches it for next week, chaps. It will run as 10th versus 9th, 8th versus 7th, and so on all the way through until we get 2nd versus 1st for our grand Christmas Cracker Cup final, held between Marco Banfastin and the incredible Bulks. Well done to those two. It's going to be an absolute slobber knocker of a fixture. Lots of weight loss to occur next week between those two. It will all come down to the scales and the tracking. Attendance wise, tracking wise, team loss wise, the bonus goals will play a big part as well. The pitch will be the thing that matters least in terms of the overall score next week. So those 2 teams need to be on top of the other three avenues of scoring. And one of them will be crowned champions and hold aloft our glorious MvFF Swansea Cup trophy. You can see on screen there, guys, the team of the week. Everyone nominated for scales-related reasons. Nick for the Oranges there, losing on his first official weigh-in after his reg weight, dropped 2 kilos. Byron getting back to winning ways, losing weight after a bit of a gain. Chris with a great loss. Brett with a huge loss, the biggest loss of the week. Andrew coming down whilst he's still semi-injured and not fit, but his team was struggling for numbers. Not only did he come along and chuck the gloves on and go in goal and perform brilliantly for them, he also lost weight too. Well done to Andrew. Russ and Andrew Honey-Jones there for the Pinks, put forward by their captain Kev for coming down, weighing in, losing weight when they weren't even playing. Chris Shaw, phenomenal from him. He just keeps going, doesn't he? The first guy who ever lost 30% with us. The way he's going, he's going to be the first guy to ever hit 35% as well. Well done to Chris Shaw. Spencer, welcome back, mate. Big loss from him. Owen and Mayo, 2 good losses. And Tom Scott, put forward by the new leadership team of Daryl and Chris on the Reds. Tom's stepped down from captain and wants to focus on just his own journey this season, and has got back to losing ways, winning ways, depending on how you want to phrase it. Lost weight. Well done, Tom. Great to see you fully focused and back, mate. And that's it, chaps. Again, a huge thank you to Howell, to Shahi, to Kyle, and to Chizzy for running the show. Thank you to Stu and Joe for coming down from HQ. Thank you to the captains as well for running such a tight ship every week. That leadership chat from about Sunday to Tuesday is really busy, talking about attendance and borrows and who's coming along, any issues that might crop up. Captains do a great job of keeping on top of all of that for us. So thank you to them. Look forward to Cup final week next week, chaps. The fixtures will go live on the website either today or tomorrow. We're just figuring out the order, the running order. And that's it. I better go and see to the little one. Take care, chaps. Thank you.